Whew, what is going on, guys? Good to see you. It's 27th of June here in Helsinki and it's boiling hot outside. I think it's like 30 degrees of Celsius outside. Now, if you're from America, I'm sorry, I don't know how much that equates to in Fahrenheit, but believe you me, it is hot. Like, woo, woo, like that hot. And you know what else is hot? Swingers parties. Swingers parties are f***ing hot. And on this video, I got you 5 things you must know before you head to your first swingers party coming up. Hello, you beautiful people. It's good to see you. My name is Tony and thanks for stopping by to my little corner of the internet. The channel you are watching is Three-Way Theory, and here in this channel we talk about open relationships, swinger lifestyle, dating and polyamory, all the good stuff. And I also tell honestly and openly about my experiences in the lifestyle, as well as give you tips and tools that you can use in your own relationship, just like in this video. And hey, if you're here for the first time, please do click the red beautiful button down below to subscribe to our channel. It helps us to get our important message out to the world. Now I'm just actually waiting for Miss K to come by. She should be here any minute, but today I wanted to talk to you about swingers parties. And I guess because most people have never been to a swingers party, we have to rely on assumptions and I don't know, movies to have an idea of how they should act or be at a swingers party. And granted, there are a lot of different kinds of swingers parties. There are those one, night or one evening that there's gonna be like tons of strangers that you're gonna meet. And then there's gonna be those, summer cottage weekend getaways that you're gonna take your 10 best swingers couples with you. And obviously they have a very different dynamic. But I have 5 things that are pretty universal to all swingers parties, regardless of how well you know the people or how many people are there in the party. Now I'm gonna start with an easy one. My first tip is use protection. And that's an obvious one, granted, but the less obvious thing you perhaps don't come to think of is getting tested. Get tested every now and then. Now, swinging is for responsible people, It means that you are responsible for your own health as well as the health of everyone else involved. So obviously use condoms. At a swingers party, most parties actually provide a set of condoms and lubes and whatever already there at the club. But even in that case, I actually like to bring my own gear. Let me just actually quickly show you. Right, so actually what I wanted to show you are these my size condoms. These are my absolute favorite, even though clubs have already condoms there at your disposal. I like to bring my own. What my size does is actually they have different sizes, so you can pick the one that fits you the best. Obviously that helps with putting it on, but also makes the whole experience of having sex more enjoyable. Plus it, of course, because it's the right size, it doesn't break as easily, which is a huge relief in those kind of situations as well. And just you don't have to think about that much that, oh, is it gonna break or is it still on? If it's a good fit and the right size, that helps a long way. So whether you use the ones that are provided by the club or you use your own, just use condoms. And also get tested every now and then. This is something that clubs and we as people who also organize parties, obviously this is something that we can't control. We can't control whether you've been to an STD test or not, say for example in the past year. But somehow I guess we are still able to screen out those people. So the people we want in our parties take very good care of their own health as well as the health of everyone else. And you kind of, once you get to know people, we are able to know who we can trust. So I guess my point with all of this is just that taking care of protection is not just about birth control and STDs. It is also about portraying you as a responsible person. And as you do these things, you get access to a lot of good parties and a lot of great crowd who know that you can take care of your and their health in a responsible manner. So it just opens doors for you in the long run as well. Okay, let's cut it here for a moment and let's wait for Miss K to join us. I don't know, guys, if you have actually seen her blog just yet. She's written like 3 blog posts, and so I mean, if you have not yet read her blog, I'm just gonna link it for you down in the description below. I really love how she writes her blog. I think especially for our female audience, it's gonna be a great resource. It's very raw and it's very genuine the way she talks about our relationship, and it's really like breaking the boundaries of personal and private and public domain. Some of the stuff, as I'm proofreading her text, I'm like, baby, are you sure we can put this online? Always I come to the conclusion that, yep, it's better to put it out there, even though it is very personal at times, because I think that just because she is willing to break those very personal boundaries, she's also giving our readers material that is actually very like applicable, and people can actually get some nuggets and gems from her writing and really apply that to their relationship. I think all the readers can like easily relate to many of the points that she writes about. And yeah, she's actually gonna be writing about swingers parties as well, her first experiences in it. So I'm gonna give you the link for her blog down below, and meanwhile, as we wait for her, I'm gonna do some editing. Moi. Moi. Now that Miss K is here as well, we're gonna do some photo shoots just to take some videos for her blogs about some of the clothes she wore in her first 2 or 3 swingers parties. So it's gonna be very interesting to show what she had in mind and what she had in plans in terms of wearing for the party as well. So which one do you want? I choose first. We got cookies and cream and strawberry white. I think I will go for the strawberry on this such a hot weather, so you get the cookies. Is that fine? Let's go out. There's like strawberry filling inside. Do you want to try it? So the second tip that I would have for you is to leave your phones in the locker room. Most clubs and parties have a designated area for your belongings, and you should leave your phone there. For obvious reasons, people are very concerned about their privacy in this lifestyle. It's sad that it has to be that way, but that's how it is. A vast majority of people who are in this lifestyle, they can't publicly tell that they actually live an open lifestyle. And it's the same for us as well. Miss K can't use her full name, so she uses that alias for a few very good reasons. And for whatever reason people have that they want to hide their identity, we should try and respect that. And you have to be really like careful with this rule as well. It's very easy, especially when the night progresses. It's usually when the sort of like it's not as tense anymore, you kind of are more relaxed, in a more relaxed state. You start to easily search for your phone and then, you know, do your own thing, perhaps message people, and you forget that, hey, we're still in this place that people are very protective of their identity and don't want to end up in sort of videos or photos wherever they might go. So just leave your phones in the locker room, and you might actually find that that's actually pretty liberating as well, because we're constantly just watching our phones in our daily lives. Same with Miss K, she's just always looking at her phone. No? She's always looking at her phone. It's a refreshing time to, you know, go to a swingers party and just put your phone in the locker room, and whatever time that you have, 5 hours, 6 hours, you know, don't go and look for your phone. You can do very fine without it as well. And just enjoy the people, enjoy the conversations and the atmosphere. And it's kind of back to basics, and it's really good actually once you get the hang of it, and you find that you don't really need your phone as much as you think you do. Mitä?
Mä en oo se, joka on koko ajan puhelimessa. Nyt se näkyy, että se on sinä.
No mä katon tästä mun skriptiä. So, yeah. So my third tip for you guys would be to ask permission to touch other people. And I mean, ask permission from the stranger you're interested in, but maybe also if you're new to the lifestyle, or you're considering a full swap with another couple, then ask permission also from your own partner. And this is a very good, well, obviously let's start with the fact that you ask permission from the stranger. I think this is pretty obvious or self-explanatory in the sense that we are dealing with a very delicate issue of having sex and, you know, exposing our bodies. So we want to make sure that people involved are comfortable in the situation, and you can only do that by asking permission to touch. With your own partner, this is actually pretty important as well, especially if you're going to your first ever swingers party, because you might not know how your partner reacts on that sort of a case. I know I'm sort of guilty with this. When I went to my first party with Miss K, is the fact that, you know, I was very experienced with the lifestyle, and I perhaps didn't come to think that she might have a different set of expectations or thoughts and fears than I, as an perhaps more experienced person, already had. Sort of like I was more accustomed to the parties. If you read Miss K's blog, you know that the feelings that she went through in the first parties, they are quite different, for example, to what I would say here on YouTube. So it just goes to show that we are all human and that we have individual experiences and expectations. And if you don't know yet how your partner reacts, you need to be extra considerate to your partner as well. And secondly, especially for full swaps, so think about a situation where you as a couple would be interested in having sex with another couple. Fine, I would say that, okay, I'm interested in another woman, that's fine, but is Miss K interested in that other man or that other woman? That is something that, you know, we have to talk through ourselves before we can approach that another couple. So it's just generally a good idea to ask permission, and you can actually make that a pretty sexy thing as well. It doesn't have to be a mood killer once you learn to do it the right way, sort of like you conveying the idea that, hey, you're interesting and can I touch you? And you can make that sort of a flirtatious, a chance to approach physically. It can be a very sexy thing as well once you actually start to get the hang of it. Right guys, so the fourth tip that I have for you is to not intervene any sessions unless you're specifically invited to join to play. Now, some of the worst parties I've ever been to have been the ones that haven't really followed this rule. So I remember times when I've been with a woman and there's, say for example, 7 men just circled around the bed and frankly just, you know, doing their own little thing right there next to us, very close to us, kind of like almost like waiting for their turn once I get off of that woman, and that's just absolutely nasty and horrible. You should always let people have their space. So this begs the question of, if you're interested in a session and you would like to join, how can you go about doing it without being interruptive or annoying to those who might not want you there? Then what you should do is observe from distance. Don't go too close so that you are bothering them. Be in a sort of a turned on mood. Show that you're actually interested in it and find what they are doing arousing. And hopefully they will pick that up and they will invite you if they want you to join them and play with you as well. Now, my final tip that I will give you is search for rules and themes that the event might have in advance. Most swingers clubs and swingers sort of parties have rules and have a theme designed to them. You can sometimes find them on a website, or sometimes you just ask the organizer, like, hey, how are things in your party? And oftentimes themes are just for people to sort of get into a playful mood. I mean, it's a good thing that you obey the theme rules, but most of the time they are there just to lift the spirits and be some sort of a playful thing that you don't really have to worry too much about. You know, don't go to a swingers party being afraid that, oh, is my outfit good enough, or am I dressed according to the theme? You know, this is something that is fairly flexible, but what is not flexible are the rules. And rules can vary, and sometimes they are even told at the beginning of the party. That's what we often do in our parties, is we gather people around and we welcome them and we tell, these are the rules we go by here. But then there might be also clubs that are, you know, operating on a continuous basis. They're not going to be telling the rules every night. You need to learn them, find them, and understand them from the organizer or from their website. So these would be the 5 things that I would recommend you take with you once you go to your first swingers party. Use protection, leave your phone in the locker room, ask permission to touch, don't intervene any sessions that might be already going on, and read the rules and themes of the party. Now I'm just gonna take some time and put Miss K's blog post and those pictures that we just took to our website so you can go read her blog post, and then I'm gonna upload this video as well. So I'll see you in the next one.